What if the world was like a perfect kingdom? What if the world was a place people really appreciated each other and really cared for each other? So there was a lot of respect towards everyone. What if the world was a kingdom? A kingdom in which we felt all connected into one community. What if this kingdom, we all felt like princes and princesses? This is a dream that I have of the world of one kingdom that with all with people that really are connected, they really share their backgrounds and they feel together as one community. But of course, this is far from reality. If we look at societies today, we see often a lack of appreciation, a lack of respect, and lack of understanding. And also on social media, we now can connect to all kinds of people. We have never been so connected as today. But at the same time, you see people fighting, see people shouting, you see a lack of understanding. Fortunately, Facebook does not have a dislike button, because I think people are already standing in line to use that button. So it kind of, the world sometimes makes a disconnected impression. And years ago, even before the internet, I had that same feeling. I had a deep feeling of being disconnected. And therefore, I would like to share something about my personal background. When I was young, as many others, I was looking for a lot of things. For one, I was looking for a high meaning of existence. I was looking for fulfillment. I was looking for truth. And despite my loving parents, despite my friends, I often felt lost. I did not feel connected. And as I was searching for true beauty, and I was looking for true truth and beauty, that was my quest. And I found it. This is a picture of the exact church that I came into when I was young, as a teenager. And this was not the place maybe that I was looking for, because I was shopping into this exact, in a place where this church is. That is in Münster in Germany. It's kind of nearby to the Netherlands. And this is the Lambertus Church, the Lambertuskirche in Germany. And for the first time in my life, I really felt connected. I really felt the truth coming to me. And this, of course, there was a time that I was more interested in shopping, in girls maybe, and not particularly in churches. But still, I found something very beautiful, and for the first time in my life, I felt connected. And this inspired me. This inspired me to go look further, to investigate this church, to dive into the Roman Catholic tradition. And okay, I found some answers. And okay, not all positive maybe. So this is a church with a large story, of course. And of course, I also found out that the key message of this church is tolerance, acceptance, and taking care for other people, as demonstrated by a lot of honest priests, a lot of honest nuns, and we see still beautiful things, such as hospitals, children's homes, etc. So this inspired me, and years later, I was baptized as a Roman Catholic, and even now, today, I'm a theologian, and this still means a lot to me. And this also inspired me to improve such a church, because also I saw a lot of things that were not that wonderful. And the church, when they have problems, they often had a kind of a, okay, you're with us or you're against us attitude. And this, of course, does also a lot of damage. So I was inspired also to improve such a church, and I also, later on, when I did my information studies, and also after the theology, I started wondering, okay, can we maybe also improve such a church by investigating, okay, how does maybe social media impact such a community? But first, I started looking deeper into communities, and I'm looking at different communities with research projects, and also at political communities. And for the first time, we were able, in the Netherlands at least, we were able to also find some really significant results, such as that for some political parties, we could really see the influence of social media, that it was also beneficial, that there were more preference votes for some of the political candidates who were using more social media. And also for the communities, this has some clear benefits. But let's just look at the community. Let's just see what is happening at the traditional community, such as the church, and we look now at a current situation, not social media, just a community, and how are people connected in such a community today. This is a picture of a social network diagram. This is what you see here is all the dots are people, and the people are interconnected. And what we see here is a community, a church community, that is, I think, makes kind of a scattered impression. Why? All kinds of subgroups. You can see all kinds of subgroups in this picture. There are lines between people communicating, but still, it's sometimes difficult to form really an interconnected world. So what you do see is not really this kind of interconnected one community. We see a scattered community here. And now we did kind of the same thing for Facebook. We made also from the same church community, we made also a social network analysis, and this is what it looks like. What's the difference, you may think? Okay, we can see here that the network is more dense. There are more interconnections between people, and it doesn't matter really in which group you are. You can connect to every other people, because maybe time and distance is not so important here. And so we see different community structures just by people starting to use social network sites such as Facebook, Twitter, and other social networks. So this is really remarkable that you can literally see changes already in the structure of networks. And we studied, of course, far more into social media. And what we also discovered is that one of the key qualities of social media is the bridging power. Social media has bridging power. What does this mean? Literally, time and space can be bridged. This means that we can easily connect to other people also on other parts of the world. So I can connect now to multiple communities. I can connect to maybe, for example, to the Catholic Church. I can connect to a community of Protestants. I can connect to a community of Muslims, of community of non-believers. And on the other hand, I can also connect to very specific groups if I want. And that's really wonderful, because I do not have to be at a specific place to connect. What does that mean? I can connect, for instance, to Padre Pio fans at the other end of the world, and I can feel a community there. Also, you can join very specific so-called long-tail communities, maybe the long-tail Big Bird community from Sesame Street. We can now easily join if you want. But of course, the specific thing is that we can now connect to different groups at the same time. And this is a principle of inclusion. And this, it means a lot, because now we can connect to a lot more groups, and that can give us a feeling of being part of more than one community. And this is kind of a multiple belonging thing. And this is important to really to exchange ideas, to share your identity, and also to be yourself. And what we see is that we can have a lot of new technology, but that's not enough. We have to change our behavior too if we want a better world where people really appreciate and understand each other. Clay Shirky already said that technology revolution is not caused by technology. Revolution is caused by new behavior. And new behavior is what we need. New behavior to open ourselves up to others. And not directly maybe convincing someone because he or she is part of a certain community. We need opening up. We need also first start to listen to each other. Sometimes we forget to listen because we think, okay, maybe he or she he will make it on its own. But wouldn't it be wonderful if people really honestly listen to each other to see, okay, what is happening, instead of directly having an opinion about it. And important here is to start behaving differently, to really care for each other. So to really really listen to the stories of others and not directly having any opinions. So what does this mean, this new behavior? What should you do? So if you are using like Twitter, Facebook, or blog, for your next reply, maybe you should think about, okay, am I really positive now? Am I really listening to what this person is really saying? Or am I just directly going to share my feelings and saying, okay, what is... So am I really positive? Am I really now acting in a way that is understanding? Am I really reacting in a positive way? When you put out a wall post, okay, are you really sharing your true identity? Are you really yourself? And when someone, this happens often of course, when someone is an aggressor and really reacts in a very direct and not so nice way on you, what do? Do you directly go into discussion? Or maybe you turn the other cheek? So what will you do? And maybe that's something to think about for your next reply. This dream that I have of a social kingdom, it's a kingdom without hierarchy. It's a kingdom where people truly try to understand each other. It's a kingdom where people truly care for each other, and it consists of this new kingdom of new networks with multiple affiliation, multiple connections. It consists of new technology such as Facebook and Twitter, and maybe the future networks, because these networks are still limited in social presence. And we need far more, most important, we need new behavior, because our behavior is key in creating a better world. In a world where there's a lot of appreciation and understanding for each other. In a world where people are respected regardless their backgrounds, cultural differences, and beliefs. This is a world that I would like to have. This is my social kingdom come.